Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian. On this video I have 4 high driving slap licks with articulation and dynamics, and notes, tabs, and play-alongs naturally you can get on my Patreon page. Let's get started now with number 1, and I'll break it down and play it for you fast and slow, upside down and inside out. I like to break this down, but before I do, I'm going to play it very slow. Let's take it beat by beat. First beat, 1 E and A, or live note, dead note, dead note, live beat. Can repeat that a little bit. Let's add the second beat, which would be a rest, pop, dead note slap on the lower A, and then dead note pop on the A an octave higher. Let's add the third beat. And I'll play that by itself and then add it on to the first and second beats. Now this is a little different because usually when you're popping on a slap line, it's kind of on the off beat, but this is on the down beat. It gives it a little bit of a different mood. So you hit a live A and then a dead note A in the same spot, go up an octave and do the same thing. Try it like that, get a little used to it. And the fourth beat's very simple. It is just a C, which is a half-step approach to the C sharp, which is the third. And so the whole line goes like this. Right now I'm going to slow that example down, but I'm going to do something a little different that I didn't do on the first example. I'm going to leave the keys and the drums in there so you can listen to the association of the drum beats, where the snare goes and where the keyboard goes. I arranged this so it goes in specific spots to reinforce the line, which makes it a lot more fun to play and a lot easier to understand and develop because you're hearing these hits coming in different spots on the bass line. So I wrote the lines to do that. So here it is, and then I'm going to break it down beat by beat and we'll go into other details. So right now, let's take the first beat of that line. It's simple. It's just 3 notes. First note is a pop, then we have a dead note, and then we have a live note, an octave lower, a slap. Pop, dead note, slap, and then slap. 1 E, 1 E, 1 E. So the thing is about this, so you want to practice that so you have it down, you can hear it, and try it a little faster. And then, here's what I'd like to do. Take that line and fill the rest of the measure out with improvised sections of it, play around with it, and invent something from it. And keep working with it, and that way you can get some mileage out of learning this lick, because we'll do that a little bit of each of the beats. And not only you wind up learning the lick, you wind up developing into other things which you can pull out and improvise spontaneously, and that's a lot of fun. It's a great way to practice. Next we have beats 3 and 4. I'm not going to break them down into separate beats because the last two beats are sort of a phrase you have to hear together, and it's quite interesting, I think, and there's a couple of little things that may be new. So it starts on a 16th rest, rest, E and a 4 E and a rest, E. 3 and 4 E, 3 and a 4 E. So there's something different happening there I'd like to show you. You do the half step approach to the third, which is a C sharp on an A 7th chord. Hammer on. Then you slap a G, and then with your left hand you hammer an E. Then you hit a dead note, and then a live note. Because you're hammering with the left hand, one of the notes only, kind of makes the line a lot more interesting. So first of all, we have a root and a flat 7, and we hit the root twice, the flat 7, and we hammer back. Then we add the major third with the chromatic approach. After that, we have a dead note and a pop on the octave. Then we go to the flat 7 and do the same thing. Then we add the major third at the top and do the same thing with a dead note and a pop. And lastly, we pop with the chromatic approach going to the major third. Now on to number 4, which is the last example of this tutorial. And once again, I'm going to do something a little different with number 4. What I'm going to do is use the first 2 beats I used on number 3 and use it on number 4 with the exception of one note. Let me illustrate. Okay, my last note was an A. So we're using the first 2 beats of number 3, and we're going to use everything except for the last note. I'm changing that to a D. Let me show you, and I'll tell you why. Okay, that D is the beginning of a bebop enclosure. And the bebop enclosure in this case would be a diatonic approach from above and a chromatic approach from below to the C sharp, which is the third of the A 7th chord. Next we have a slide into the tritone. The tritone is the C sharp and the G, which is a diminished interval. That's about it for this tutorial. I thank you for stopping by, and I ask that you might subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, like and comment. Visit my Patreon page to download all of the material I used on this tutorial, and drop by again and we'll talk about bass one more time.